go. I still remember how the camera works. Um, haven't had any really noteworthy dreams for some time. No, that's actually not true. I did have some very interesting ones, but I didn't record me talking about them because my girlfriend was here, and honestly, I was just really lazy and not really in the mood to um, to keep this diary going. But last night, it's not last night, like one night ago, I had the strongest, the most intense sleep paralysis in a while. Like, it was absolutely wild. I'm serious. I have sleep paralysis fairly regularly, but in a very, very light, mild form. When I sleep on my back, um, I get sleep apnea and I see a nightmare, and maybe I wake up and cannot move for a couple of seconds. So um, it wasn't that kind of sleep paralysis. It was like full on open eye hallucination sleep paralysis. And I haven't had that in years. I remember the first time I had sleep paralysis was, I want to say, 6 years ago or so. And that one was definitely the most intense one ever. Um, like very real hallucinations. Very scary. And I had it a couple of times after that, but then for a while, I guess, like when you wake up and you know it's happening, you don't really get freaked out. Um, it doesn't get that intense if you know that it's happening. So the mind doesn't really draw all those pictures for you. But it did happen to me 2 days ago. And the dream was actually started out really pleasantly. It was a very cold early morning. Um, it was sunny but cold, which probably means that it was like December or late November in my dream. And um, I was in this low one-story building, um, which was kind of like a cafe or something like that. And I was there with a girl who I don't remember. Not probably not a specific girl. Just it was a romantic interest in my dream, and she was going away, and we were supposed to meet in a library after that. She was going to read a book, and I was supposed to, catch up to her or something like that. One second. So I have my phone propped up on a piece of on a toilet paper roll. Am I too bright? Oh no, no! Don't fall. Maybe this book. Yeah, that's better. Anyway, so she went away, and then I went back deeper into the building, and we had some kind of an apartment there, me and my mother. I was living with my mother in that dream, and it wasn't our apartment. It was an apartment that somebody gave to us. It was very big, um, very very nice. It was still very early in the morning, so all the lights were on like this. It was a really nice, pleasant, big apartment with lots of warm light and so on. And I think I want to make myself some coffee. And I was drinking coffee in the living room when my mother called me somewhere, and that's when it started going south because my mom wanted to give something to me, but she wouldn't let me see her. And that was the first thing that I found really strange. It's like I wasn't creeped out yet, but it was a strange feeling. Like, my mother, it was like she was hiding from me. Um, so I went, it was like, let me think. The apartment had sort of like a circular shape, like rooms arranged in a circle, kind of. Like, you could go, maybe not. It was one big living room, right? it was one door here and one door here, and you go in this door, and there are a bunch of rooms, and then you can go down here, and there are more rooms here, and then you can go out. So you can kind of go in a circle. So I went to my mom, and I couldn't find her in the room. So when I came back, my coffee was gone, which means she probably went like this and took the coffee and put it here, if that makes any sense. And then, I don't remember what she was doing, but I had this feeling that, like, she was messing around with me. Like, she was trying to hide my coffee from me, trying to take something from me. And it felt really creepy because, like, it felt like she was malevolent towards me. Like, there was a very strong feeling, the very strong oppressive feeling of malevolence. And that's when it started feeling like a horror movie, because not only is your parent turning completely unrecognizable, doing these things that, doing these evil, scary things towards you, and you don't understand why, but they're also like hiding from you, not letting you see their face. And it felt so creepy. And I remember I went around like this trying to chase her, and I stayed in this room because my coffee was here, and I think there was also like a couch there that I lay down on. And suddenly at the other end of the room, and this already happened when I opened my eyes. Suddenly it was very dark, well, because it was very dark in my room here when I was sleeping, and I saw, it keeps falling. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, so this room. Oh, come on! Apparently, the sound isolation in this apartment is not good at all, because I was playing Tekken the other day, and I was raging a lot because I'm really bad at the game. And I was screaming. I was really screaming, and I was like raging and screaming. And my neighbor sent me a message. She was like, "Is everything okay? I heard you scream multiple times. What happened?" I was like, "Nah, it's all right. It's all right." Oh, she probably thought I like killed somebody or something. I don't know. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So this apartment, it doesn't get very dark in my room, because right outside you can probably, there's light coming on my face. There's a light pole like right outside my window, and very often it's on during the night. So there's a lot of light. I obviously closed the curtains, but there's still light leaking into my room, and it's not completely dark. Like, it creates a lot of shadows. And I woke up in the middle of the night. Well, I didn't wake up. I had my eyes open because I was having sleep paralysis. Oh, come on. This is never gonna work. Better? Should be better. Anyway, why are you not seeing my face? Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so I was laying on my back with my eyes open, and suddenly at the end of the room, so my mind was seeing this room, but my mind interpreted still this as a part of the dream. I saw, like, around here where I'm sitting now, I saw my grandparents. And what was weird is that they were also hiding their face from me. Like, there were these long poles, which are not in the room, like pillars, but they were in my dream room. Basically my imagination drew them in, and they were hiding behind them when I was talking to them, and I was trying to look around, but they kept shuffling so that their faces would be constantly behind, and that it was at that point that I felt that something is very, very wrong. I think it was their apartment in the dream, but it's not really important. It was then when I realized that something was super wrong, and it felt really scary. It felt like a horror movie. Um, there was this inescapable feeling of dread and horror. It was absolutely terrifying, and um, yeah, and I tried to wake up. I started screaming because I felt so scared in the dream, and I screamed in real life as well. Like, I'm not gonna do it. The if you want to hear what sleep paralysis scream sounds like, it's one of the creepiest things in the world. Like, search it up, look it up on YouTube or something. Like, sleep paralysis screaming is really scary. Um, so I did that scream like 3 times, and I remember, and then I woke up, and I realized that, yeah, hey, everything is okay. Um, and I think I also felt like there might have been another presence, like an invisible presence in that room, um, somewhere off to the side, and that was also contributing to the horror factor. Either way, it was really scary, really terrifying sleep paralysis dream. And yeah, that was it. This night I had a pleasant dream. I was flying. I had a flying Segway. I don't know if anybody still remembers what Segways are. It was those things that the people had before scooters. It was like it's basically a scooter. You stand vertically, and there are handlebars in front of you, and there are like 2 wheels on the sides, and you have to lean forward to go forward and backwards to stop, and so on. Segway. So I had that, but it was flying, and I could like go up very high into the air and see lots of things, and I flew above forests and rivers. Oh, it was beautiful. It was so nice. And at the end, they came to this big open space. It was like kind of a park, but it was in the middle of nowhere. There was no city around it. It was on the shore, I think, on the shore of a big lake or a sea. Um, there was lots of grass and some wooden tables, but people were sitting there. Lots of people sitting there, but also sitting on the floor and having picnic, eating food, having fun. I suddenly came to this place, and in the corner there, I saw an ex-girlfriend of mine, a childhood friend, which we're still very good friends with her, and she was sitting there with her current boyfriend. And I came up to them, and I was like, "Hey guys, I both really great. I love them. I was really happy to see both of them, and they were like, "Oh, you came." I'm like, "What? Oh, was I supposed to meet you guys?" They were, "Yeah, we agreed. Blah blah blah. You were supposed to be our guest tonight." And I was like, "Huh?" I had no idea. And they had a bag on the table, and I opened it up, and I took some sweets out, and they had some sort of a pink cookie or pink cake, which was made of jelly or marmalade or something like that. And I ate that. I don't remember what the flavor was, but since it was pink, I guess it was strawberry or cherry or something. Um, yeah, I was like, "Oh, sorry, I still have to do a couple of things." I would come back, and I took my Segway and I flew off into the sky. Um, and I didn't remember where I was flying, but I do remember. I forgot a lot from this dream. It was really cool, but I forgot. Um, I came to this place. It was like a big party in the club. I don't think it was underground, but it was inside the building. And it was quite dark. Well, it was a party. With lots of people in there and lots of women. But all the women. Well, first of all, everybody was like half naked or like in bikinis and stuff. Second of all the women were like really fat. Um, I remember thinking, oh, this must be like an American party with all the American people because everybody was like really fat. That's what I thought. I'm sorry, but all the women were like super fat, but also with like really massive breasts and buttocks. very voluptuous, like Venus type characters. There were lots of them. It was really overwhelming there, in all honesty. And I think I ran away to another room. And that's about everything I remember from that dream. Cool dream. Very pleasant. Much more pleasant than the sleep paralysis I had the night before. Yep. Aside from that, let me see if I can remember any dreams I had before. One memorable one was like me traveling along a shore in like a. Oh, come on. I don't know what happened. Oh, well, I got the message that I have 10% battery left. I thought I ran out of memory. I think I'm gonna run out of memory. I'm not sure, but really quickly, I remember this one dream. I was traveling along a shore, um, in a jungle, and it really felt like the end of the world. Not in terms of like Armageddon, but like the edge of the world, like as far as you can get from anywhere. After that began this endless ocean with mist all over it, and I came to this massive cliff area, huge boulders sticking out of the ground, and I climbed it, and the beach was very dark. I think it was like black sand, like like one of those beaches that you can see in Iceland or something. But it was tropical. There were like huge, massive, prehistoric trees there, um, and plants growing from the ground as well. Yeah, a very memorable place, very unique. I don't think I've seen it in my dreams before. I think there was a guy and with his son there. I don't remember who they were, but I like met them there, and I went back. So, really the edge of the world, and there was also like an overgrown huge park alley, which also felt very old, but obviously man-made because there was like a paved stone road or concrete road there, not for cars but for pedestrians. A huge walkway, but completely cracked up with plants growing from the ground and so on. Yeah, that's what I remember. Other than that, I've had Corona for the last week or so, and it's actually the first time I've had Corona. Not that impressive. Not worth the hype of the last 3 years. 3 years, man. First Corona case started um, popping up 3 years ago. Yeah, 2019. Insane. Anyway, those are my dream reports for now. Yeah. Bye bye.